It's a beautiful summer morning here in western New York. Let's pour some concrete. They're building right on a side hill, and so there was quite a lot of gravel that had to be hauled in to make a level spot for this building. But Karl has the grade work all finished. The forms are installed and the rebar and wire has been placed in there. Everything's ready to go. Karl believes that that concrete job is only going to be as good as what you've got underneath it. And so he always does a superb job with the gravel and then topping it off with stone underneath this slab of concrete. It's nice to not have to wheel that concrete, and so these trucks with a boom on it are pretty nice. With that sock there, you can put that concrete right where you want it.
Hey, there you go! Whoa, whoa! You're running concrete!
Well, the driver went to move the truck ahead and evidently forgot to shut the concrete out. It was spilling out on the ground there. But we're back on track now, and they're raking that concrete so that when the power screed does its thing, it'll have just the right amount of concrete in the back of it to do a nice job. So now they've got that much done, and they'll just keep right on with that truck spitting that concrete out through that sock there. Boy, that really takes the grief out of it. Instead of having to wheel it in a wheelbarrow, put it right where you want it. See what a nice job that power screed does too. Of course, we all remember using a big 2x6 or 2x8, and a couple guys would pull that concrete by hand. The power screed takes the grief right out of that job too, and leaves a real nice surface there, as you can see. Now it's the job of that concrete truck driver to keep that concrete coming. And of course he's got to move his truck ahead so that he can place that sock right where they want it. But right about now that concrete ought to come flowing out of there so they can keep ahead of that power screed and not have to stop and wait for concrete. So the first truck ran out of concrete, and they've had to back the second one in, and they'll just use the chute. That'll be long enough to dump the concrete out on this last part of that first section. The job is broken into three sections, and this will finish up 1/3 of the pour. Karl's got a pretty good eye for this, and he knows just about how much to put in there, so those guys don't have to do a lot of pulling with their rakes there. So when he gets done here, they'll have just enough right there to do that, finish up that part. be a good idea for that second truck driver to move his truck over there and get that chute up on that conveyor so they're ready for the next section. The guys that do this kind of work know that it's a time-sensitive proposition. Once that concrete is laid in there, it starts to set up pretty quickly. And so right now, the guy is working the bull float on that first section. And he's got to get that done before it dries too much, and then he can't work with it. So he knows just when to start that bull float and just how to work that thing so that you get a real nice finish. Meanwhile, the guys continue right on with that second section, and they've got to keep that concrete coming out of that truck. They can't be stopping, or the first section will dry too fast and so on. They've got to get this whole pour done as fast as they can. That 6-foot bull float really does a good job. Of course, the fella that is operating it knows what he's doing. He's done a lot of concrete work. Karl's got a good crew here. It's so important. The boss man has got so much to think about, and so he's got to have a crew that knows what they're doing and doesn't have to have a lot of instruction. They just all know what their job is, and they do it. Now you can see that rail underneath Karl's feet right there. He's dumping on it right now. That's the rail that the screed runs on. And of course, after they're done with this section, they'll pull that rail out of there. So here they are. They're getting pretty close to finishing the second third of the pour. Okay, now they're starting on the last section, and the bull float now is being worked crossways across the first 2 sections, and there'll be little spots where he has to add a little bit of concrete here and there and work it in and make sure that he's got a nice finish there. So that's what they're doing now. They're kind of fixing anything that where there might be a little hole, or maybe there's a stone that popped up out, or it's a little low spot or something, and so he'll work those in by hand. Now you can see that third truck is backing up. They've got the chute over onto the conveyor, so they're ready to empty that last truck. Now the guys are setting that screed down on the final section here. So let's keep that concrete coming, boys.
Hey, bud.
Boy, that's starting to look nice now, isn't it? You can see he's got to work right across that last joint right there over to the last section. There you can see how that bull float tips up the other way as he pulls it back. Do that by turning that shaft. Okay, now we're working around the edges, so to be able to pull the forms off without breaking off chunks of concrete. And now all the hard work is finished, and all that's left is work the power trowel. This machine will put a nice finish on this concrete slab. It'll be a beautiful slab to build a building on. I hope you enjoyed the video, everybody, and if you did, remember to hit the like button and subscribe to Tim Tools 99. I'd like to thank Karl Kruger and his crew for this beautiful job they did here today. See you next time.